What's up, world, and welcome back to the Global Frequency. I am Nefarious.
And I'm Frequency Girl.
And tonight, Rich Ayala here to tell us all about his comic book crowdfunding campaign, Roach Balls, available over on Indiegogo. What's up, Rich?
What's up, brother? What's up? How's it going? Brother and sister, but not related, you two.
That would be bad.
That would be weird, yeah.
We're not in Alabama.
Yeah. We're doing
my
good,
brother,
you know,
my sister,
TGIF, man, like end of the week, right? We're gonna get ready to go do some dirt jinking
nice.
on the Regen stream after this.
Yes.
Everyone should go check that out over on Red Valkyrie. It's a sick ass Friday night hangout, you know, love fest. Everyone you know gets together on the chat and you know, it does dumb shit. Anyway, before we get into the book, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? According to the campaign page, you live in Rhode Island, but we all know that nobody lives in Rhode Island. That's just where they hide the bodies. So tell us where you're really from.
Well, you need somebody to watch the bodies just in case some weird, funky stuff happens, or somebody creeps in and tries doing weird stuff to the bodies. So I am from Rhode Island. That's what I do. I'm a dead body watcher and a part-time, full-time artist. So,
all right, okay. I've never had a dead body watcher on the stream before. Before we go further, let us say hello to everybody we've got in the chat. We've got Armin, who says he was first, and then Frequency Girl lost the in.
Disappeared.
So he's not first anymore. Nobody's first.
But we have Ali, who's secondo.
What up?
We got Aria up in the chat. Of course, Aria shows up. Aria loves his animal books. We've got Hiawatha as well. He's saying hi to you, at least, right?
He said hi to
we got Aerith from Aerith Saga. Brian up in the chat. Thank you so much for coming, brother. We got B Rose. We got Maddie Fowler. Should we send him the link?
Hey,
we should send him the link.
I think we always send Maddie Fowler the link.
And we got Mo. Mo is here for some Roach Balls.
Excellent.
We got Travis Gibb. You talk about balls so much on the show. I do. It is a regular occurrence.
Happy belated birthday, Travis, too. I mean, we wished you unbelated birthday on your actual birthday, but it was yesterday, but we didn't see you. So now we have a show, and I'm tired, so I'm going to be spazzy.
Happy birthday, Travis.
Happy birthday,
you're how many years young this year? Are you a 42-year-old white guy like all the rest of us? We got Tarks9 in the chat. What's up, Tarks? And we got Lord Crackhead.
Hey.
Crack Pack up in the chat, smoking crack day. Bow. I think that's it.
Nico Tronis.
We got Nico. What's up, Nico?
What up, Nico?
Hail chat. Hail Neff and Freq Girl. Hail Rich. I can't tell what those little emojis are. Oh, they're cheers.
They're like
cheers.
Yeah,
right.
And 24 eyes.
And we got 24 eyes. Thank you so much for tuning in, 24 eyes. I haven't been to 24 eyes stream in a while.
Body watcher in Texas is known as a Phoenix nanny.
Let's go. I like that. Phoenix. I'm writing that down. I haven't been over to 24 Eyes channel in a while. I gotta go visit.
It's just been not too long ago. It's a good place.
Phoenix babysitter. What was it?
Yeah,
Phoenix.
It's always a fun place to hang out.
So there's something about the two syllables that it's just so dismissive, like the way he phrased it. Yeah, because it could have been a babysitter, it could be something like that. No, just nanny. It's very dismissive, which works. Okay, so you are currently from Rhode Island. Did you ever live anywhere else, say Massachusetts, or was that commuting?
No, it's just commuting. So I work in Massachusetts. That's where I'm a full-time tattooer, and that's where the shop is. So
is it open? Because I looked up Voodoo voodoo, happy voodoo place.
Good voodoo
And
tattoo.
yeah,
No,
that. And they're
that was an
gone,
old-
man.
Yeah, that was an old spot. So right now I'm currently working at Sacred Anchor Tattoo, which is funny because it's currently in the location of the old Good Voodoo where that used to be. But like anybody out there in the tattoo shop world knows how sometimes weird shit happens with shops getting traded off and whatnot. So me and some of the homies that we worked with just got sick of it and just ended up leaving that, and then worked at another homie shop who established it in a much more responsible manner. And so we've just been there ever since. And then when Good Voodoo closed down, it was at a nice spot. It was on the street. It was right on the street. So we're a street shop pretty much. And
Cool.
it was just a good, a lot of good foot traffic, regular traffic. So as soon as they shut down, we just hopped right in. Just been there ever since.
You just snuck on in and snaked it. That's great. What's the name of it? Because you got to update all your profiles.
Yeah, that's not me. I'm not responsible for the shop profiles and all that. That's the guys at the shop. We stay pretty busy with people like hitting us up. So we all like operate under our own profiles, and people will hit us up, and then we just stay booked out like that. So we're very much in our own elements, and we stay like pretty busy like that, surprisingly. But yeah, that's all the guys. They gotta do that shit. But the shop is Sacred Anchor Tattoo Co. And that's in
Sacred Anchor Tattoo Co.
Yes. Yep. And that's in Bellingham, Massachusetts.
I drove past Bellingham, Massachusetts today.
You did. I'm looking for his Instagram, because on his Instagram it says he works in Bellingham, but I think he's still got his old credentials. And I was gonna get on you for being lazy about it because you've been so busy.
I thought I did that up, but yeah, I'm not very I'm just starting out to like be on top of that type of shit, especially with doing the whole
I can't figure it out either
and whatnot. But I'm not really a tech savvy guy, so this is a lot to get used to. I feel like I'm doing a decent job though.
You are absolutely. I was just gonna clown you a little bit because I do all of my online research, and I'm like, he hasn't updated his new contact information. He doesn't have his current website listed.
I can't spy on him.
His social media is out of date, and that's not fair.
I knew some shit was like that was gonna happen too, because I've seen your show before. I'm not stupid. I was like, he's gonna fucking
he went and hid all of his current up to date.
We got Ginge up in the house. Thank you so much for tuning in, Gingerton.
Also, Double A snuck in, and so did Juanito.
Hey, Juanito.
Double A.
Speaking of Juanito, I left it upstairs. I got a Sully Cucaracha sketch card in the mail
nice.
from Juanito, and it's got your signature on it too. So I'm super happy about that. He's in a little plastic thing. I think it was from Boars vs. Lions. I'm gonna wear it around my neck like it's a convention badge. So yeah, we got Juanito. We got Arrogant Ape saying bow. We got Ronnie, right? We got Gingerton. Yes, Ginger and Pedro have a show, right? Ginger and Pedro. They do have a show.
Yes.
Yep. Do you want to drop the link to their channel?
I will find it, and
go
I'm
find
sure
it.
someone else will get it before me. I'm slow.
So when did you start reading comic books?
I can't. Definitely before I was going to school, or maybe kindergarten at the earliest. But probably as a young child, super young child. My mom would try to, whatever change she had laying around, she would get a couple like random comic books at the little corner store and whatnot. So the earliest I can remember was some random X-Men comic, and with Colossus and Nightcrawler sticking out as the coolest characters. That was when
they were dope.
Yeah,
like seriously, those are some good characters. Those are original, like thoughtful, fun characters. You didn't have stuff like that.
Yep. It was just I thought one was like a demon and the other guy was made of metal. So I was just like, this is crazy looking.
You're like, who cares about Batman?
Right, exactly. I think at that time I didn't even know who Batman was. And then there was I know Colossus, he had the pirate boots and the scuba suit, and I was like, fuck out of here, guy. He was just whack. There was some other comic with some kid in a wheelchair and a red like Adidas jumpsuit or some shit like that. I'm not sure if it was some off-brand X-Men comic or something, but I don't remember that. And then some old like black and white comic. I'm not sure if it was some type of underground comic or something, but it was a rabbit and some chick and maybe a robot or something, and they were out in space. I don't remember it, but I remember it being my favorite comic. And then my sister and like some cousins ended up tearing it apart. So, but yeah, that was like my earliest comics that I could remember having.
Nice. B Rose is not B Rose. Mo Biggs is enlightening us about how B Rose has reached new levels of failing. You're saying how there are lots of new developments. D-Wag had 2 live streams, and also B Rose followed up on the momentum of his big show by not only failing to appear on his own stream, but streaming on another channel head to head against himself. And Mo Biggs thinks that B Rose hates himself more than he hates Rich.
Yeah, that's a lot of hate. I thought he hated me for no
That's-
reason.
It's a serious amount of hate, you know.
Yeah.
We got a lot of haters around here, I guess.
Hi, Rick Sailor.
Heroes,
Is Rick here or is he leaving?
He's here.
He's
He
here?
says hello, frequency.
Oh, okay.
girl.
I didn't see that. I'm tired.
He
too.
also said hello to you too.
Hey,
but we're only
Rick,
gonna
what's
put mine
up?
on screen. Heavy is the head that wears the tiara, I guess. Steve Rooster says that B Rose is a visionary.
Heroes, yeah, I don't understand. He's on another stream,
And he didn't
streaming
stream.
against himself.
I guess he never went on his own stream. Forgot about it, maybe? I don't know. We need more
That makes
details.
Mo, just kick him wherever he is. Just you know, kick him into the bucket
I know.
of chicken.
I don't think that's a punishment.
No, and not if it's a bucket of chicken.
Yeah.
Heroes would be really happy about that. So, is there a particular book that drew you to the medium, inspired you to start making a comic of your own?
Yeah, it would be the Lobo comic book where he fights damn, I have it stored away somewhere. I'd have to go digging for it. But he fights it's Lobo's back, one of the issues, and then when he comes back and he's reincarnated to fight the dude that killed him and the guy that had his little brother in the colostomy bag, and he pops out and has the gun and ends up shooting Lobo. But that whole scene where it was like super violent, over rendered, all that stuff. I'd seen like Disney art before that. I'd seen even certain cartoons, like the underground cartoons or like the late night shit, but I never saw anything like that for a comic, and it really like, you know, messed with the senses and whatnot.
A DC comic where somebody's jumping out of a bag full of shit to shoot someone in the face. That's where it's at. That's the 90s, baby.
Yeah, Lobo had all the shells in his face and they're just sticking out. It was
Sticking out.
hyper violent and exaggerated.
That's doo-doo, baby. I loved Lobo too. I remember the Contract on God arc.
Yeah,
where he just smashed up those cherubs' faces, like their teeth were exploding as he like punched their heads into the floor. I mean, that was some really violent stuff, and I giggled like a schoolgirl. I giggled like B Rose when I was reading that when I was like 12. What?
Mo says that he will kick B Rose into a bucket of impossible chicken.
Oh, that's the worst because it's not really chicken, is it?
Yeah, but B Rose's chicken is a pleasure.
So Armin pointed out that B Rose is going on Bancroft tonight, and we are going to watch him fuck up and cry because that's what B Rose does when he goes on Bancroft. So what kind of books do you like to read now? Is there anything on the stands that you pick up, on the regular, or any artists or writers that interest you?
Nope. Besides some of the homies and some of the indie books that I've been picking up, if anything, I'll pick up some random issues. And right now, I've been collecting Gru. So
yes, Gru.
So it's like 1 through I think 120 or maybe like 150 of the Marvel run. So that's what I'm like currently collecting, and like tempted to start reading them, but I kind of want to just get them all first. I don't know, but I just been doing that. Other than that, like there's just really no interest. And if I did go into a comic book store, then I'm just gonna end up getting back issue shit, or just look for the most random indie thing and just see if I like it or not. But so I haven't picked up anything like that. The big two, I lost interest in that shit long ago, and even before like you figured it out and you have a name for these things and what's going on now, the whole like culture war, what have you. Like before I even figured that out, it was like had my eye drawn to that. Like I knew something was weird way before that, and how they started like really trying to ground all these characters and like reality, almost like make them look serious. And like at first it was cool, and then it just started like straying way the fuck off the path. So I was just like, I just ended up clocking out a long time ago. And just to find out, like as I like come back in and be like, oh snap, this problem got worse. Like this.
You were like, maybe it'll sort itself out. Nope. That's what happens when you shut the door and you turn out the lights. The mushrooms just grow in the shit, right?
Yep.
Or is that just my closet? It might just be my closet. Mo says Bancroft is worried his channel growth might get away from him. He had 200 live viewers for that Mrs. B stream, so he's slamming the brakes by bringing on B-Rose. That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, 200 people in chat is a lot to keep track
They were just
of,
there to
so.
see. They were there to see Mel. So like they weren't there to see to see Bancroft. They certainly won't be there to see B-Rose tonight.
I think all the Comics Way guys will be there, so I think that might balance it out.
That's gonna all right. You guys are fixing it then. Why do you gotta go and do that? Why do you gotta go be like support your boy and hang out and make it fun to watch? Just let B-Rose go by himself.
Could just make it worse, You
should. You know what you should do? You should all like go in together and then all drop, and it's just B-Rose and Bancroft and. B-Rose will be like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Let me fill them with chicken.
So Karen Nicole says these days everyone's got a side hustle. We already know that when you're not drawing offensive insects engaging in homicide, you're carving obscenities into people's skin. When did you become a tattoo artist? How'd you get into that?
I was close to 20 years ago, 19. It was like 19 years ago, just about. And it's funny, it's all relatable too. It's all like relative because I wanted to draw comics forever and then figured out like if I did get to that point or whatever, then it wasn't going to happen that quick like that. And at the time, like this was years and almost 20 years ago, 19. And so there was nothing like CG that I was aware of. And I wasn't on no online shit at all by any means. So I was just like, whatever. And at that point in time, I figured out like I wasn't, as much as I wanted to draw comics, like I didn't want to draw Spider-Man. I didn't want to draw any of those cornballs. So I was just like, whatever. And then figured I would just get into tattooing. It seemed like the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like figured to get an apprentice. I already had drawings worked up. I had a lot of inks already done up. So, and like a few friends made the suggestions. I always wanted tattoos at that time. So I figured, why not? And then, got together a portfolio, hit up some shops and got into one, and it's just been on ever since. And so it's been a pretty decent career choice, I guess, because it still maintained like some footing in the arts. I learned a lot of cool stuff, applied it to just art in general instead of just sticking to like one medium or just knowing just that. And I've applied a lot of that into the comic book as well, learning what I've applied or picked up from different mediums. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's not as 100% creatively fulfilling as making a comic book, because there's 100%, 120. There's like 200% leeway. You can go just balls to the wall, all out.
100%, 120, 200%. I mean, just like
a lot of percent.
proportions keep getting bigger.
Yeah.
So would you be interested in that if B-Rose and y'all went live and then dropped, and like Armin said, we all went live on B-Rose's channel instead? And that way we would test
on Bancroft.
And B-Rose stayed on Bancroft. That way we would test Bancroft's chat loyalty. No. Curtail his growth, and then B-Rose would have to pick between his appearance on Bancroft and his own channel. I think that's some devious shit there, Armin.
Yeah.
I approve.
Like
B-Rose slowly turning into Rob. No, that's terrible. That's terrible. I think he's surpassed Rob in
I told B-Rose he's not allowed to eat on stream tonight.
In just how disappointing he is. So Roach Balls, is it your first published work?
Yeah, on this type of level. I had some stuff I messed around with. I did a short story that was part of like that was the word. You got all the stories put together, different stories. I
like
forgot
an
the anthology. Yeah. For a Halloween joint, and it was from Rubber Chicken Comics. That's who it was for, and they're based in Bellingham, Massachusetts. So I did a short little story for that. And before that, I did my friend owned this t-shirt shop, little fashion shop somewhere in town. And these guys, they'll make the little lookbooks for all the different type of designs and clothing and streetwear. And he had that, and he also wrote a short story, and I did the comic for that in the back of that, and that was pretty cool. But that's it. And then there's this Roach Balls, which is first on that type of level and first crowdfunding attempt.
Right, we're going to talk about the crowdfunding attempt one second, but I want to talk about Sully first. Sully is a very unique character. Is he inspired by anyone in particular, or is he just more like the manifestation of all of the terrible things that we think but don't do or say out loud?
Yeah, actually, it's all the above.
All the above.
Yeah, I had interest. Everybody had a favorite Looney Tunes character. Mine was Taz, so you'll see a little bit of like
nice.
Taz in him, the way he acts too, because he has character and personality. He talks, sentient, whatever. But in a moment's notice, he acts like a monkey. So he switches from like Sully, who's a jerk, to just primal, like a little dickhead type thing. And then there's all types of bad guys that are inspired. Beetlejuice, like I said, Gru's a little bit of a favorite thing. There's a little bit of elements to some like little bit of weeb shit, like Devilman, old school stuff. So I don't even consider that weeb shit. But there's a little bit of Devilman in him. I said Beetlejuice, Old Dirty Bastard. It's all like, besides like I guess no, Gru's actually he's a dickhead. He was a barbarian, yeah. So like these are all like bad or just jerk type inspirations that are for Sully. So there's not like no heroic bone in his body or anything like that. So,
He's just a scumbag. I like it.
yeah, just straight out scumbag.
So on that, no, go ahead, please.
Oh no, yeah, he's just straight out scumbag. So there's no like heroic inspirations for him. So if anybody's like thinking that, or well, he's gonna be a hero at some point, that's not gonna happen.
No.
I like that though. I like he's not like an anti-hero or anything. You're just gonna watch a bad guy be a bad guy. It's gonna be enjoyable. Show us how to do bad guys right. So tell me about Cat Shit Island. How did it get its name?
It got its name from, I was watching the hell is this movie where it was just recently on Netflix. So I have a bad habit where if I watch movies with my girl, I talk so much shit throughout the movie. So sometimes I have to stop so my girl can watch the movie. But other than that, I'm just constantly talking crap. And I was watching this show on Netflix with these vampires, and they were on this like lighthouse island or whatever. And it was basically like Salem's Lot, but 2022 pretty much. And it was on Netflix. And then they were like, "Oh, why is there a cat on that island?" And they were like, "Oh, they're talking about the island with the cats on there." And then I was talking shit about that part, and I was like, "What the fuck these idiots going over there to fucking Cat Shit Island for?" And it just made me laugh. It made my girl laugh. And then I was like, at the time, I was thinking I needed a name for the environment, and I was just like, damn, it's coming close to, I have to like release this and shit like that. So you need a name at least for the environment. And I was like, oh, Cat Shit Island was perfect. And then the history kind of just collectively like fell into place for me.
And what kind of critters?
Lord Cracker did Midnight Mass. Great show.
Yeah,
yep. That's what it was.
What kind of
island?
What kind of critters are we gonna encounter on Cat Shit Island?
So you have a lot of weird shit. No like normal type critters. You might have your normal like cat or puppy, as we know. Like Sully, that's not a thing that Sully does all the time. But sometimes he has lapses in logical thinking, and he does foul shit to anybody who's seen that video. But that won't be a constant thing. But you'll see some normal animals, but mostly it's like really like pests, like or parasitic type looking creatures, as you might see on the campaign page. There's a special appearance by like a cryptid type creature. I do love cryptids and weird UFOs and shit. So ironically, I'm all about synchronicity as well. When I first came across 656, I was inking the pages that I was referring to. I'm not going to give it away. And I came across like 656. So it was like really cool. And but yeah, synchronicity.
Yeah, 656, they're great. And that's kind of where Comics Way came from.
Yeah, it was just a collective of some homies, but some very homies that want to get shit done, I guess. I don't know how to collectively explain it, but yeah.
Everyone can tune in and find out if they want to see for themselves.
They will.
See if I can find the
link. A little bit more about Sully and Cat Shit Island. Sully's a roach, right? And there are other talking animals on this island, not necessarily like dogs and cats, but there's like parasites and pests, you said, but they all interact and they're all like, animals, right?
Right. Yeah.
And
well, let me
they
be
act
clear.
like they act like people, right?
Yeah. Right. So like the pests are like just regular parasites. They're like animals, like indigenous animals. Everybody else on the island, they might have some like weird defects, and they'll be like mutants and whatnot because of the environment of Cat Shit Island is very disgusting and dirty. So whether they pass it on genetically or they just fell into a disgusting puddle and just grew like an eyeball and hand out of their face, there's that. But Sully's not a part of that. He is in that environment, but he's not a result of that. He's very much a different creature, and he's set aside from that. Even though he could survive in it and do better than the rest of everybody else in that environment, he's not the same as them. So he's not like a mutant or anything like that.
So there are mutant humans,
yeah,
and there are other creatures that are animals like Sully that act like humans. So there's like a mix of sort of like anthropomorphic scumbag creatures mutant humans, and then there's Sully. How is like Sully uniquely different? You said he's not a product of his environment, right? This is all nature, not nurture, right?
Right.
So where did Sully come from?
Sully, I don't want to. He's very old, so he's a very like primal type creature.
He's an eldritch evil. He's like
something like that. Yeah, if you want to coin it like that. So because I don't have a title exactly or anything, he's a very old creature. So, so what you see right now is like how you have, like I mentioned, Devilman. So Devilman is pretty much this like crazy demonic presence, but it's very much trapped inside a certain shell. You know, if you've ever heard the story of like Sun Wukong, the Monkey King Mischievous, who had a lot of his abilities like stripped away by like celestial people because he was just causing a muck, and he was like a demon, pretty much, sort of, kind of. That's the way I look at him as. And so Sully, you see that, and it's very much like a casing, so to speak. So you see his form and everything, but there's like a lot more to him, and he's actually better off in this version. Even though he does cause a lot of trouble, he can hold his own. You can't trust him. He's very primitive, and he's just a jacked up individual. But in this form, he's better off like that, as you know. So you kind of just see his like rise to all this like villainy.
Aerith wants to know, does Cat Shit Island have a proper city planner?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll get to something like that. I want to get into you know, like the mayor and the city constructs and whatnot, and like the police officers. I do mention Chode, which is the city. Fuck, I forgot it already. It's basically like the CDC and shit like that, but it's the City Humane Organization Department of Experts, the City Health Organization Department of Experts. It's Chode. So eventually, then there's also in the second book, I want to get into Chode PEU, which is Chode Pest Extermination Unit, and so they have awesome. Yeah, you get to more into shit like that in the second book when we get more into the city. So this is the intro, you know. Sully's just getting into the city.
So you're it on the book, you know, el único. You're the only guy doing anything, and you're the only one doing it all, right?
Yeah.
Like a trucker or an actuary. Do you ever get lonely working Dolomite, or are you satisfied knowing that no one else is gonna fuck up your shit?
Yes, and not lonely. Yes, I'm satisfied because I really don't want anybody to touch this main book. Like, this is all just me. There's no reason to have anybody do alternate covers or anything like that. And I do get lonely in the sense that I do like collaborating. I do like, you know, I did a piece for you. I did a piece for Matt Fowler, and, you know, just collaborating with the Crack Pack and definitely like the Comics Way guys. Like, I like that collaborative aspect of it. So I do like that's been happening more. So I do like that. So if it does do like Sully type stuff, and then I don't mind having Sully doing collaborative efforts, because roaches are very invasive and intrusive. So I'd love to have Sully with collaborative efforts in other people's properties. And that's how I would let other people kind of like, you know, get hands-on with Sully, so to speak, in a weird way, and think about and collaborate on some cool shit. But then split it down the middle and just this main book. That's all me. I don't really need anybody else on it. How
do you do your lettering? I've been wondering. Do you letter by hand on the original pages?
Yep, by hand on the original
pages. You're a madman. Oh, God.
Like, I mean, if you're a type of like, you know, you're purist and you're like, letters have to look a certain way, you're gonna freaking hate it, you know, because it looks like bathroom scribble art, graffiti, you know. But
I mean, but that fits kind of the aesthetic of the book too. It's just, I would be terrified of like fucking up a letter or spelling a word wrong or anything like that, and you know.
Eric said one letter at a time. That's how he letters. And then AA says, "I told you, Neff, and you did not believe the ape."
That's why I asked Ape. I was imagining that you would just scan it in and letter it before pre-press to send to the print files, because that makes sense. It's like, oh, let's just do that easy. But no, you actually like, oh, that's too much work. You're not scanning this and proofing the files before you send them off for pre-press?
No, I mean like proofing it and you know, making sure like, you know, it's properly punctuated, commas in the right place and all that stuff. Yeah, that does happen. But like the whole scanning and you know, scanning up the empty like word bubbles just to type it all up, and then Photoshop or what have you. Put it in.
So you just go to the original page with some whiteout, and you like slap whiteout where you want the bubble.
Yeah, and so like there's a method to the
You
madness.
give me agita.
There's all the method to the madness. I knew that since I was gonna, because I've tried it before in the strict way with the, all the width and the distance and the rulers and all that shit, and that was just no fun, and that takes all the fun out of it, and then I hate it, and then I don't want to do it because it's too strict. It's too like, well, you gotta use the ruler and you gotta put on the map, and I don't like working that way. So I just got rid of that. But then I figured out like, all right, since you got rid of that, you have to figure out a method to the madness in order for it to make sense. So, I was like, oh,
madness.
Idiot. Yeah,
madness, brother.
Brad, damn, I can't even use that word anymore.
But, Eric's saying Rich don't give a fuck about vector files. You don't really give a fuck about a lot. You're pretty easygoing, like you don't really worry about rules and obeying them. We got OACV up in the chat. What's up, dude?
We also have hold on, I just go back up. Riser Man, the brilliant star that shines through the night, the sonic boom that shakes the room. Riser Man stands before you.
Hey, what's up, Neo Star? Thank you so much for tuning in.
Sounds like some
and OACV says, hail Freq Girl and Neff, but mostly Freq Girl because Neff doesn't say hi to me. Now you look like an idiot. So how did you find this weird ass motley crew of creators in this network that we call CG? How did that happen for you? Like, you don't strike me as the type of 42-year-old white nerd who loves 90s comics and hates diversity that winds up in CG like everyone else. How did you find it?
Yeah, I love shit talking, so I came across like EVS when I was like, yeah, I do.
I love trolling people.
Yeah, so like to an extent, obviously, we're not harassing people, but I feel like good shit talking, it's good defenses. So if you're good at shit talking, then it proves a lot. It says a lot about you. So I came across that while I was working and starting the comic book and trying to look for a good network to get in. But it started off as looking up interviews and watching draw streams and shit, and then saw EVS. Yeah, Livid, and saw EVS, and then saw him talking shit, and I was just like, well, who the hell are these people he's talking to or talking about? And then as I got like deeper, like watching the different chats and different streams as like YouTube makes recommendations, then I figured out, oh, these motherfuckers that he was talking about were these people that I mentioned earlier when I just clocked out of comics a while ago, and I was like, all right, this shit's corny as fuck. So, and then figured that out, but then like saw, then you kind of hesitant. You're like, all right, still though, watch these chats just to make sure and see if these people are going to like what you want to bring to the table and whatnot. And if, if you even want to be in this place. And then like seeing Bancroft and then 656 on there. And then I was like, all right, this is nothing like, some of these outsider motherfuckers are making it out to be. And then
so you went and like did your own research and did the legwork and like, we're looking for a cool spot and kind of found one. I mean, like it's your little nook, right? Like there's a little nook that we carved out, with our knives for ourselves, and just kind of, you hang out in our little neck of the woods, where it's cool. Oliver says, "Livid dog," and Oasi says, "I'm hella livid, Lamau, but seeing Rich makes it better." And then Connery shows up.
It's a Kumari. Thanks.
So let me ask. I think I already know the answer to this, but are there any subtextual themes that you're trying to explore in Roach Balls? Stuff beneath the surface, not like blood vessels and bones and shit. Like metaphors.
I don't know if there's so much metaphor because I'm not really a deep writer or a thinker like that. So I kind of like did the story, drew it, and then kind of made the story go from there. So it was very like, kind of organic and just like it was stream of conscious type shit. So I can't say there's too much of like a lot of subtext or like this kind of crazy hidden meaning behind it. Besides the fact is just not to take yourself serious, So if you see something offensive in there or something just like, ugh, and like the books will get more offensive as it goes on, but it's not. So
like, is it like a little bit of shock value? Like you're poking at some of the like potentially puritanical comic book readers out there who think that there should be like, certain standards of decency in comic books, kind of like, that we did in the 60s and 70s when we were fighting the comics code. You had Robert Crumb, you had the underground stuff, and you were kind of dancing that very, very fine line between absolute profanity and entertainment is like, is that something that captures your interest that you want to play with?
Yeah,
You might be more deep than you think.
right. Yeah, maybe, but it's not in the sense where it's like, oh, like look what I'm doing. It's shock value. Look what I'm doing. Look at this. Look at this. You're nerd. You got an exposed nerve. You touched, right? Does that make you mad? Like not in the sense of that, because that's just you're over.
Yeah, you're not trying to trigger anybody, but you're talking about stuff
Right.
that's not necessarily the what the mainstream would consider polite discourse. You're not talking about refined subject matter. You're not talking about superheroes even. You're just going completely off the beaten path, talking about the fucked up shit you want to talk about and having fun doing it. That's art though.
Right. And it's very
like
you'd see in the
pretentious artists are like, oh, I wish to trigger the masses, so I will do some things and like paint soup cans and call it, modern. I don't know why I give him a British accent.
I don't know.
So pretentious assholes who want to make money and then sniff their own farts and like think that they're smart, say that they're going to do some shit to piss people off, and it's actually the reaction to the art that is the art. No, you're just doing art,
right.
And if people are reacting to it and it's having that particular effect on it, it's because the art is affecting them. You're not out to do that, which is what makes you an artist. Like there are artists, and then there are people that say that they're artists, right?
And sometimes you just make shit because you like it, and it has a bunch of elements of all the stuff you like. I remember years ago, I did an art show, Synchronicity, once again, and one of the pieces that I painted in watercolor was a koala. And it was a koala with a switchblade knife, right? And, that's the
Neff is just being tested in the chat now.
Oh, that was a good one. That was a really good one.
Owasi's just trying to like project right now because he got drunk the other day and just kept hitting on Dylan. And Dylan was like, dude, I have a boyfriend, just stop it, please. And Owasi was like, Dylan. So shut up, Owasi.
Motherfucker. Clip the Dylan, man. That's perfect. I just use that as a soundbite.
Yeah. Dylan's like, dude, I'm in a relationship. I'm healthy. I don't need your bullshit. And Owasi's like, oh, I have red flags. Anyways.
Mo Big says, that reminds me, I was so thrown off by Briaz's self-sabotage and I forgot to congratulate him on 8K. Good job, brother. Yeah, congratulations, Black Rose Comics. You're still kicking his ass though, Rich, right? Which is what's important,
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's why he hates me. I didn't think about that because I'm not the type of jerk that thinks like that, B-Rose.
Right. Materialism. Ask Rich how many pages he got halfway in and had to dump it and start over. I don't want to know, bro. And I don't want to know because I know people who would pay for those pages. Yeah. And knowing Rich, he probably just crumpled them up and whoosh threw them away, and that's just money that went down the drain. So I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna.
Is he maybe behind and is at the part where we're talking about lettering straight on the page?
Oh, actually, I've only dumped one. I didn't even dump the page. I sold the page on the when I had to do it over because of a trimming issue. But even if I've messed up on a page, I never redid it over again. I just rolled with it and just made it part of the thing.
Eric Grant, would you?
It's my job. You can read it.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Thanks for the butthurt cream, Mr. Ayala. I will use it well.
I'll be sure to send you a little bit of extra. I use it too. I sit on my ass all day, and the hemorrhoids can get real sometimes, So.
It says the letters put right on the page adds crazy value.
It really does. I mean, honestly, your art itself is top notch, top tier, and worth every penny. I was hoping that there would be original art from the book on the campaign, but it is absolutely understandable that there is not.
You keeping that for yourself?
You should keep that for yourself. No, you should keep the whole book for yourself, and then when you die, it'll be worth millions.
I hope so.
You're gonna get famous, and if you don't get famous, we're gonna make you famous.
That's not ominous.
It's like what Billy the Kid said.
Wait,
right?
how do artists get famous again?
They die. Roach Balls not a one-off, right? What are your plans for the series?
To keep going. So one of my major things, without trying to do it too hard or trying to come across too hard, was make the book wrap up nicely, without leaving too much of a cliffhanger, but letting people know there's more to this, that you're definitely going to keep going. So right now I have 10 books planned out, and I started working and doing pages on the second book, started penciling, and then I got caught up in something else, but it's not a bad something else. It's still Roach Balls orientated. So if I do get distracted from, this is the plan anyways, if I do get distracted from the second book, then it's going to be because I want to do extra or supplemental shit with Sully. So like I said, like you know, if you guys ever listen to Big Pun, but before he dropped even like his album, he was, I believe he's one of the people that was just the most featured like everywhere. So I'd like for Sully to do that, especially since he's a roach and those things are super invasive, you know. So
you want Sully to run around to other people's IPs and do crossover and stuff, right?
Yeah, I would love to.
I got a little green troll that you got to meet. Little green internet troll. That might be perfect team up for Sully.
No. I don't think Sully would team up with like.
No, you don't think he'd team up with internet trolls? They're both like bugs though, right?
You could add Sully into the mech that you made for us.
I mean, Sully could pilot the mech, sure. That'd be dope. I would love to have. Imagine what Sully would do with a mech though, right?
He would be like old soup cans or something like that. That would be beautiful.
Like, you see my switchblade, now you see my mech.
Yeah, but you couldn't like as for green internet trolls, you know, Sully's definitely got the Highlander concept. You know, there could only be one. So if there was somebody out there, then Sully's giving that dude a close shave. So I don't think that's gonna happen.
Mo makes the case for me. Imagine all the mischief they could get up to, brother.
Ollie says bad idea.
I mean, I'm full of those, man. I'm full of bad ideas.
It sounds like a threat, which is what I said. It sounds rather ominous.
Brother, this combination's too good to even want to test the waters. Run with it. No, okay. So if you're not going to team up with Crom, what about teaming up with Shift? Because I know Connery's got anthropomorphic animals, and Sully's kind of an anthropomorphic animal. Yeah. Would you just have Sully run in and like stab everyone in the universe and leave? Like,
I mean, he would do that in any universe, just about, unless somebody was just like ended up murking Sully before.
Just like comes crawling out of the gutters, slits someone's throat, slinks away. Like perfect Deus Ex Machina. They need to solve a problem. Sully just steps out of the shadows, takes care of it, and disappears.
Well, he's kind of like a monkey too. So that'd be the hard part. It's not like somebody could hire him and be like, "I got a job for you." He could say yeah and be like, and then he could get easily distracted and just forget he had a job to do to begin with. Or like after he's done doing a thing, he'll just go through somebody's drawers, find something, sniff some panties, find something shiny, stuff it in his pocket and then take off. Or, he's just a real piece of crap. So
I do relish the chaos.
Yeah, he's part chaos demon.
Yeah, definitely.
So we have some crossover.
I said something already in the works.
Oh, actually, for Shift, like if that ever happened, I don't think like Kumari would like what would happen to his character. That thing would need like there'd be a little Shift doll and that he would have to make and be like, where did Sully touch you on this?
We've all seen the video, Rich. We've all seen the video.
So we have some crossover suggestions from the chat. AA says
Goofballs.
No.
Roach Balls, a shift in the jungle.
You don't want to see Sully smack people with the rubber chicken of justice. Come on.
Oasi says Roach Walker.
Right. You have a Roach Walker thing. I think you have like the. Cane,
Ollie says that's another bad idea.
I think if it was a Goofaballs thing, it'd be something like he'd be like, "I own this character now," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, no, I own him now, and I'm gonna make him get molested by these crazy clowns that all they do is rape roaches. I own him now.
That's not okay. It's really good.
I think Ollie's right.
It's a cross between like Mike Tyson and Fizz, but you need to do the pauses a little bit better. You need to do the stutters, but that was fucking great. Oh,
I'm just too afraid to keep studying those videos to narrow down that impersonation.
You're worried that like you'll start losing, IQ points. Just trying to do the impression.
I'm trying to pitch story ideas. I'm like, I got this story about a clown. No.
You did. You studied it because you have the perfect inflection.
Wow.
Well, I've seen plenty of B-Roast's freaking streams, and like half his shit is about like EFAP and Fizz. So
Damn, Rich, just control alt
You
deleted.
did.
Neff.
Yeah, you reset me.
I mean, I think you did it to Aussie too. Fucking wow, Rich, I'm dead.
What's up, Sim? I think
Hey,
it's
Sim.
that's one of
What
the
up,
funniest
Sim?
things that we've ever had happen on this stream. All right, do you want to look at the campaign real quick before we run out of time here?
Yes, I just forgot to share it.
You forgot to share it. Okay, so while you
I'm
figure
doing
that
Oh,
out,
wait.
I
Okay.
do have another question. Some here.
Sure.
Why crowdfunding? The book's done. Why not just go scan it, print it, sell it directly?
I
Why
thought
go to
about
crowdfunding?
Yeah, but I couldn't gauge anything with that. I was like, okay, I could maybe like get a loan or come up with the money or like sell drugs or some shit like that, get a couple grand and then make the books and then hit up all these like comic book shops and figure that out. But then when watching how everybody else was doing the crowdfunding, I felt like this kind of gave you, I'm not like really good or business savvy with the words and how to like put it together, but I felt like it kind of gave you like, it gauged the map out. So not only could I find out like how much people would be interested in this book, but instead of just making a book and selling it to a couple people, I could find out like more people are interested. And with crowdfunding, I could get even more people into this shit. So it was like,
I was just
You're
remembering
still
what he
laughing.
said. I'm making a book about a clown. I'm dead, bro. That's gonna be with me all
You
night.
can read that one.
Move that yayo with me, Rich. Okay.
I don't know what he's talking about.
He wants you to sling that coke with him.
I don't know.
So yeah, let's look at the campaign here real quick. We're at $13,031. That's like a palindrome and shit, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep, one of those fancy
That's
things.
awesome.
So
Okay.
we got 2 tiers, right?
Mhm.
You got two tiers, and now there's a don't assume my title tier.
What is this?
Yep.
What is
There
that?
used
Zero
to
of
be-
one.
That was a title page that I was going to use, and then I decided not to use it because I came up with a better idea. So I was kind of floating around. And I really like doing this whole one-off selling art type shit. And first
Yeah.
come, first serve, snag it up. So usually they go quicker. This has not gone quick, so I don't know what that is. Maybe I should drop the price or something. But
Is there like a bigger picture of what the art
yeah,
is?
if
or
you
what the
scroll
page is?
down, yep.
Scroll down.
This was a lucky pickup right there. I love that image. That image is
Yeah.
great.
Yep.
The new favorite problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
Neff is looking at all the things that he
I
missed
wish I-
out on.
wish I
and he's
got.
very sad.
Yeah.
He wishes there was more than one of them.
Yeah. I wasn't paying attention when the original art went down. I
You got one though.
I got this one down
I say
here.
you got
This
that one.
That
You were
was
very
real good
excited for
because it
that
has
one.
Mo's name in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more time.
Yeah.
That one and the Fritz
So I
the
had
Cat
to-
homage was my
Okay,
favorites, I
that's
think, out of
looking
all
at the
of them.
actual art.
First coom, first to bed. Is it still available? I think it is. It's on the campaign, right? It's on the campaign
Yes.
page.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
still
You
available.
can
Yeah,
pick
that
it
was
up.
going to be a title page, and then I was like, nah. So that's why I was like, don't assume my title. I like giving these like stupid little titles.
I cannot imagine what that would look like in color. A huge blockbuster crossover event, something like $4.99 Goofaballs, shift in the Cromniverse.
Oh shit.
Arian Ape says the Fitz one is brilliant. I agree. It's very subtle. It's clever. And what drew you to Indiegogo for crowdfunding?
Why they choose it?
Yeah.
Because
Why didn't you go to Zoop? Come on, you could have brought this to Zoop, right? They got their content like moderator checker things to make sure that no one's offended by their, the campaign doesn't offend their audience. You could have brought this to Zoop, right? Why didn't you go there?
Yeah, I should have, huh? I should have made this more kid friendly.
I would love to have seen you gone and for them to just be like, "Are you fucking high?" And you would have been like, "Yeah." Why aren't you running my campaign?
I chose this because I didn't know too much about Kickstarter, and then from what I've seen and everybody that had already used Indiegogo, and I've seen the success they had and like the type of stuff that they were creating, and through that getting success from that, like I just felt like it was I don't know,
Like a
just
little
seemed like
butt
the thing to
crack.
do.
Little butt crack. It's perfect. Like he captures the essence of someone face down in their own vomit, right?
Yeah.
I love your color.
Yeah, it's
I have to
great.
say your color.
And he does it all by hand. It's all physically
It's
done.
very cool. You use
He uses
What do you-
markers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Prismacolor markers. So
I asked Luke Stone what kind of markers he used. And he says, "I don't know, the ones that have color in them." So,
yeah, well, this is an ugly ass color, but Prismacolor markers. So they last for a long time. think they're probably like if you want to talk like if they're better than Copic or Copics, I think there might be like a step below. But I think I love these things. So yeah, it's mixed media. I'll use these and then to do a lot of the layering and add that grimy effect. I'll use
I think Owasi picked up the page.
these are teasers. Did you really, dude?
Yeah, I think he did. I think he just
He
picked it up.
says refresh. Okay, I will refresh. Whoa,
Did you ruin the cool palindrome number?
probably, but
Well, not really. If it's $60, oh no, there's shipping isn't there. Son of a bitch. You did.
why are
You
you
ruined
not
it.
refreshing? Refresh.
You ruined it. I know you did.
Bum, bum. My computer's really slow.
Nah, nothing
Well,
happened.
the backers went up. It's
Ah.
284
Ah.
backers. It takes a
Remind me
minute.
of-
for
Nothing
The
happened.
money
No.
to catch up.
How do you feel, man? 284 backers. That is
That's awesome.
insane for your first time, man. That must feel
Yeah.
amazing.
Crazy. I'm humbled. It's one of those things too. Like
Almost 300 people
Yeah.
want to read your book, like for real. You know,
Ollie got first.
I know he's the first.
Ichiban.
I don't want to mention that on my stream. It's
Alright.
my stream. I don't have to acknowledge that if I don't want to.
Mobig says that's schemes and scams.
Right? It didn't update the
Yeah.
number. We'll try it again
I
in
think
another
he was
minute.
saying that Ollie got one as schemes. And
It was schemes and scams. We were all clicking refresh on his go live. Amanda, me, Jim Cox, Eric. There was like a whole bunch. Eric was driving. I know he got robbed. Why am I talking about this? I didn't want to be talking about this. Now I'm all worked up.
I'm sorry.
Fuck.
Because that's so unusual.
Yeah. I think ultimately that was my fault because I'm saying first timer, boomered some shit. So, if everybody has to be mad, stop being mad at Ollie. Be mad at me. I'll take
Owasi got the 300th transaction on your
Nice.
account. That's
that.
awesome.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, thanks, dude.
Ollie says old school markers.
Yep. And it's got that old school effect. I really liked how some of the colors looked in the heavy metal magazines. Growing up, gave that, kind of saturated, kind of that faded look. And kind of wanted to get a little bit of that with the whole look and feel of this book.
13101.
All right.
Thank you.
If someone can put
Now someone needs to spend $30 more.
an even $30 on this campaign, I will forgive Owasi for ruining the pretty number. But as it stands, nah, he's on my shit list. So are you happy with the performance of this book?
Yeah, I am. Like at the same time, I had nothing to gauge it against or, I'm saying weigh it out and whatnot. But obviously, like, studying other campaigns and from.
I mean, you could compare it to B Rose, right?
Told me, right. Fuck you, B Rose, for always screaming over me. I love you, dude. But yeah, it's been great. I'm trying not to get so caught up in the hype and shit because there's like so much shit to draw. So I'm kind of just like, nose to the freaking paper and trying to get that done. But I am like, it's a good confidence booster. So however the second campaign does, and whatever else, this travel, this journey brings me, it's I'm starting off on a good foot, so I feel pretty confident.
How much longer you got in the campaign?
I just renewed for the second day or the second month, second 30.
Second 30 days.
So just
29.
yes,
You gonna crack 15K on this bad boy?
I would like to,
If you crack 15K,
Yes, put more.
you will break my initial expectations of how your campaign was going to perform, because I had it first day. I said between 12 and 15, towards 15 if he funds first night, and I'm hoping to see you crack that number. I'm hoping to see you hit 17 now. I think that you could end up there
Yeah, easy.
with another push. Which brings me to my question about the marketing of this campaign. You have done insanely well for a first-time creator who has 2 tiers, which were 2 price points, minus the original art. I know that contributed a little bit to the hype and to the movement of the campaign. When you hit those totals on the first night, you get into the trending of the algorithm because you're using the amount of money you brought in all at once, and the algorithm's going, well, fuck, dude, he funded by a lot in a little bit of time. That definitely gets you trending, that gets you into the algorithm. But you have marketed this campaign in a number of different ways, and it really looks like it's paid off because there's been a concerted effort that you've made to get the name of this campaign out there. Would you tell me a little bit about how you did that?
Just working within my boundaries. So honestly, and that simplicity and a budget. So my budget being broke is fiat. So like with the the super chat type stuff, it's like, you know, you can sit there and, you know, say your stuff. And then I realized like, well, this is like, this is promotion, you know what I'm saying? This is for a couple bucks. You got a big time creator, you know, in a chat room with 1,000 people or whatever, several hundred. So they say, you know, you drop a couple bucks, they say your thing, you're basically paying for advertising, you're getting a name out. So, and then, you know, Roach Balls, it's a good fucking name. It's a good freaking name. Sorry. And I felt like it was one of those things. Like I every time I said it and dropped it in the chat, it made me geek. So I knew that if it made me laugh, then I liked the way it was going. And then I just kept doing it. And then it just made other people laugh and it worked. So a lot of times.
Can we just appreciate this one for a minute? Can we just appreciate it? Just look at Sully's face. Just his face. Don't look at the nipple, right? Just look at the little faces he's got. He's so colorful. Like everything about this character is just hilarious, man. It's profane and wonderful.
I like your little comments like throughout the campaign page too, like dirty rug not included and all of that. It kind of adds to like, okay, this is the kind of humor and fun stuff that we're gonna get, that we're gonna see. Yeah.
So you're right. You were dropping Roach Balls in the chat to the point where it was infecting other people. And I was on streams. I was seeing other people super chatting Roach Balls.
Yep.
I was seeing people dropping it in the streams on all these other places. People that weren't mods, you know, people that were just like really anticipating the campaign, who really like were looking forward to its launch, who you enrolled into your brand. How did you do that? Because that's something that we need to bottle. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know, dude. Like, well, you know, I got a comic book about the roach, so it's you got to be the roach. You got to be the roach. So, you know, just be invasive. As for like how I think being prepared, it works, it helps, especially with I just wanted to be prepared since the beginning, and then I step in and then see how a lot of people had like issues with, you know, other creators, whatever is the issue, but that's like a thing that aggravates people or whatever. So I think preparation, but not only that, because I don't know shit about this and anything could happen like with Murphy's Law and whatnot, but just being forward as possible and style. I think it's style. I think a lot of it.
But you don't listen to laws. It doesn't matter. You don't obey laws. You just think you don't. Fuck Murphy.
I just don't like certain rules. You know what I'm saying? But certain things like I don't know, certain rules are kind of retarded, to be honest. It's important to know them. And then when you know them, then you know like how you could apply them and shit and like how to bend them and whatever. But a lot of times great art is made out of just saying not paying attention to rules, you know, and certain constructs or politics and shit like that. Like, no, thank you.
This is probably like, can you read this for me? The quote? Can you read the quote?
You got to be a predator. I don't know if I said it. You got to be a predator.
You got to go after that. You know, you smell blood in the water. You got to go after it. You got to take your opportunity. You got to be a predator.
You got to be a predator, like a shark. You got to be like a shark with clown makeup on.
There's certain words he hits that are just perfect. Oh man, I'm sorry.
So are we gonna see any more stretch goals pop
up? Yes. So we got. I'm waiting. We're putting something together right now. I feel like I just did a fizz thing right there, but fuck, it's infecting me, man. I'm just gonna start talking like him now. But like, yeah, we got another one coming out. Definitely, it's gonna be like a Garbage Pail Kids kind of card, you know, with the frame and kind of bring you back to a little bit of nostalgia. Nice. But the piece is going to be drawn by ink spots. So he did something cool, like a
ink. Ago. You got ink?
Yeah,
nice.
A dope piece of fan art.
And ink's fantastic.
Yeah, it just matched with everything. And then Dying Days of YouTube, that's my partner in crime when it comes to like this little like Roach Balls is very much like a one-man team, but if I have like that one person specifically where I can just like, it's definitely Dying Days of YouTube. So he's throwing that Garbage Pail Kids type frame, and then he's making a back for it too as well. So it'll be a double-sided card. And at 14K, I think I said, I don't think it was 15. I think it was 14. We'll get that card. So, and then
now, Arrogant Ape did some promoting for you too, right? He did.
Yes, he did the voiceovers.
Was Hogan the Bogan or something like that? I don't know. How's it work? Like who did?
No, Dying Days of YouTube. Hogan the Bogan is his.
Is Hogan the Bogan? Yes. Okay,
right.
And
so
Arrogant Ape cut the promo videos.
Yeah, so he did the whole crazy grindhouse type of like that deep voice type shit. So he gave it that whole feel. Because when we first came out with the video and the video ideas, me and Dying Days was very much like, we want to have that weird scratchy film effect and kind of give it that grindhouse B movie type feel, because I love that shit, and it's greatly inspired this whole book, and that's the type of stuff Dying Days loves too as well. So, and then
What's up, Dylan?
What up, Dylan? Dylan.
We got so it looks like you did the art, right? All the art, the lettering, the story, everything. You produced this incredible book, and then it became like a collective effort between you and Dying Days and Arrogant Ape and other people to just kind of launch this thing into the stratosphere.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a fantastic model, and I would love to see more people kind of getting behind something and just kind of everybody push, because if there's something like Roach Balls that really, speaks to people and they're like, yeah, this is worth it. This is something like, it matches our brand. It matches our philosophy or whatever, we all scumbags here, right? Let's just launch this thing out there. I love the fact that you can do that in a network like this, and it really reflects in the numbers that it's brought in, because it's saturated. Like you said, it's invasive. You wound up on some big streams, and there are a lot of different things that you use to exploit your way onto them. I think the Crack Rocks, Steve Worcester's Crack Rocks landing you on EVS. That was for them to talk about it. That's like that clever shit. It's insidious almost.
That I feel like.
Why are you kicking me?
Because you did not read the setup that Mo gave you before.
What was the setup?
I had Rich read Owasi's comment, so
what was
I
the setup?
said I would kick you for him. So what if Brian licensed not only Goofanoid,
but the entire Physmatic universe for dwarves versus predators? Then Owasi said, "Not the type of predators we want, Mo." And then the comment, "This is probably like, you got to be a predator." Okay, right, gotcha.
Yeah.
I caught up. It's not nearly at all funny anymore, but I caught up.
Well, Goofanoid, I could see, would probably mix up the dwarfs for being of a certain age range, and then be highly upset when they sees like maybe the facial hair or their IDs and sees their numbers.
Right. So you watch Family Guy, right?
I've seen bits of it. I haven't watched it in a long time. But,
there's that character who really likes Chris.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about the creepy old man. We got to do some dub overs. We got to do some dub overs, man.
I know where this is going already.
Owasi says that Dylan makes him hella gay. Okay, we needed to know. What's next for you, man?
I want to say real quick about the whole push thing. With that too, that's not only is the whole thing like the get in where you fit in and shit like that, but if you're like a new creator or you're new to a certain network or whatever, and this is going to sound like a dickhead thing, but this is just honesty. One of the worst things you could do, especially for a new creator, is just team up with a bunch of people that don't know their shit, that are just on that type of beginner playing field, or they're just there to fuck around, with the hee-haw gang and play grab ass or some shit like that. So that's like one of the worst things you can do. So in order to get that better push or understand or get like pick up jewels that people are dropping, you got to get into it where people either have that same like drive as you, or that same like tenacity, the same skill level, or whatever, or people that are better than that too. People that are already there, they got a firm foothold, they're willing to share with you, and you guys are willing to conglomerize and build and do cool shit. But at the same time, you got to bring your stuff to the table, because ain't nobody, you got dirty hands reaching other people's plates. So if you find yourself a little like, oh man, I got this cool thing, but ain't shit popping off, then maybe it's the people you have around you. Maybe you don't have enough of a street team type of mentality where you're like, no, we could do this, we could do that. So
maybe you don't have the right hype man.
You don't have the right hype man.
And that's the thing, like you're saying, you hustling out there every day. You got to make that, you got to make your moves, and you got to make your moves as a group.
Yep.
But like you also said, you got to be bringing it to the table.
Right.
If you don't want to be the one who's like bringing the only thing to the table and everyone else is kind of like trying to eat off that.
Right.
Everyone bringing their best, everyone bringing their A game out here hustling. That's how you get shit done. That's how crack fiends take over a neighborhood. That's how you get dealers on every corner. That's how you push out the competition, and if they ain't gonna get down, then they lay down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You don't want to be that dude approaching the table of like homies or whatever, like, hey, what's up guys? And everybody's just like, oh, this motherfucker. Like nobody, you don't want to be that guy. So if that happens, then you gotta fix something. You gotta fix your face. So
All right. So
Yay, Red Radio.
what's next for you at this point? You did Roach Balls. You know, I assume you're going to start working on the next one. You said you had maybe some sort of little collaboration going on. Maybe it's not so
Yep.
little. I don't know.
Yep, there's a collaboration going on. I'm working on something of that right now. It was crazy, but it's putting me to the test. And working in between, I'm gonna try to like not try, but I will be working on Roach Balls too. I'm like still trying to try to get on penciling that 5th page. But and then just more collaborative stuff with some of the homies and just seeing where that takes me. But most of all, and focus, tunnel vision, it's all about the Roach Balls. So if I do a lot of collaborative stuff on the side of Roach out of the main book, then I'm hoping that at least most of it will have something to do with Sully, So that's the goal. That's it.
And that's great, man. Maddie Fowler says everyday bow. There's going to be a Crack Pack meetup at Indiana Comic-Con.
And we also had.
I'm not there. Why am I not there?
Because we don't live in Indiana. Sorry, you can move.
Yeah, you asked for something simple like hotel and a plane ticket, and this shit doesn't get done.
I'm sorry. You never asked.
So any
Say
words
hi,
of
Raiden Radio.
Oh, hey, Raiden Radio, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. I had a lot of fun on your show last night.
And Sumo Dori.
Hey, Sumo. I'm sorry we're about to end the stream on you though. What words of advice do you have other than like find out where you fit in and make the most of the skills that you got? What other advice do you have for a first-time creator?
Just be consistent. That's all it takes. Just be consistent. I see a lot of people like, oh, you can draw every day. No, be consistent, man. Draw every day. If you're a writer, write every day. If it's just a freaking idea, just write down small little ideas and just be consistent. Make content, be consistent. Everybody's going to have opinions. Everybody's going to compare you to other people. And, they're going to place their paranoias or their expectations and shit like that. And that's cool to, apply a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's just you're putting your nuts on those fucking tables, on that table. So just be consistent, make sure you're confident, and you got some fucking fat huevos to show off, So, yeah.
No, it's probably not going to happen, man. Fuck New York Comic Con. Neostar says, the brilliant star that shines through the night, the Roach Balls in the soup of crime. Riser Man stands before you. I like that one.
Yeah, I like
Thank
that.
you so much for coming, Aldous. We are wrapping it up here. Thank you so much, Eric, for hanging out. I think that's going to be it for us tonight, right, guys? So go back, Roach Balls, if you haven't. I know you got like 30 days and all. Don't put it off. Get it done now. You want that book. You want what Rich has got for you. You want it all.
Lassie says hire a reliable artist.
Do indeed hire a reliable artist. Well, in Rich's case, he's a one-man band, so he's all good, right?
If you have that skill and that trait, nurture that shit, man, because it'll help you out. You might still be able to draw a little bit, maybe not make your full comic, but your drawing stuff will help your artists out. You guys will maybe like relate better. Or if not, then if you draw more and you ace that, you'll be able to get rid of some of the bullshit with a flaky artist and just be like, yeah. So, really nurture a lot of the skill sets that you have. The more you do, the better it'll be. So.
Indeed. So thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, click that bell for notifications.
And tune into the frequency.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Peace.